Jamie Booker, a man, a Democrat, and really quite bulky one at that, won the world's strongest woman competition, lifting weights, in Texas last weekend by crushing a field of real women who were actually women lifting weights in the competition. The Strongman Archives website standings of the 2025 World's Strongest Woman contest showed that Jamie, J-A-M-M-I-E, Jamie Booker, taking first place in the division, obliterating his competitors who were actual women. But this morning, the standings were actually changed to show that Andrea Thompson from the United Kingdom, another country altogether, and a real woman as the actual winner of the women's weightlifting competition, the Strong Women competition. You see, after everyone with eyes, including some of the women who were actually competing against the man named Booker, made a stink about it, and the woman who came in second was not amused at all. She cursed just a little bit. And Booker was this morning stripped of the title of he had the women's title and now he doesn't, after the events organizers actually finally realized that he wasn't a woman at all. In a statement on social media, the official strongman.com, that's the organization on Al Gore's amazing internet, and they wrote, "It appears that an athlete who is biologically male, which means you're a man, and who now identifies as female, which means he's confused, competed in the women's open category. Had we been aware, or had this been declared at any point before or during the competition, this athlete would not have been permitted to compete in the women's open category. Any athlete is welcome, sure, but it is our responsibility to ensure fairness and ensure athletes are assigned to men or women's categories based on whether they are recorded as male or female at birth." So, Jason, is that fair or unfair?
I go with the organization. They have their rules, and those are the rules, and so I accept that. And I would say, you said she's a Democrat. I don't know where you got that evidence from, but the most famous trans athlete in the world is a Republican, and that would be Caitlyn Jenner. I'm not so sure that you can say, oh, well, it's a Democrat. It's clearly...
He was a Democrat when he made the leap. But
was he? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, he was when he made the leap. But that's it. But you got to be female at birth, which seems pretty ordinary.
Yeah.
And what is it, a Tunisian boxer or something that we're all supposed to change?
And Caitlyn was a man. Caitlyn was a man when
Caitlyn, Bruce Jenner, then he became Bruce
Still got his
Jenner.
Wheaties box.
Bruce Jenner.
This organization does not have a case before the Supreme Court, but there are two cases this term that I'm covering that deal with this specific issue. It's whether states can require that you have biological sex as a criteria to compete in girls' sports. So you have to be a biological woman, which kind of seems like it would just be fair, obviously, for women's sports. But there's a case out of West Virginia, a case out of Idaho, where the justices will decide whether or not that violates the Constitution. And I think maybe some guidance from the Supreme Court on this will be helpful, not necessarily just for these states, but for organizations like this.
Maybe guidance from common sense and what the entire world has always known.
I'm not sure if Justice Jackson will, by then, she might know what a woman is.
She doesn't know what a woman is. What is she, a biologist? Come on, she's a Supreme Court justice. Now, before the competition, I'm hesitant to use the term stripped in this contest. Stripped the title from Booker, who's a man, the newly declared winner, Andrea Thompson, a woman, literally called BS, and we had to beep that part out, as she stormed off the podium, stormed off the platform. She was standing in the number 2 place, and she knew that there was this big dude standing next to her collecting her trophy and her money, while 3-time world's strongest woman champion Rebecca Roberts took to social media on Monday, writing, "People born male should not be competing in the women's category." Seems kind of commonsensical, doesn't it? This isn't about identity. It isn't about politics. It's about the undeniable physical differences that exist in strength-based sports, differences that don't disappear and that matter more here than almost anywhere else, certainly in women's weightlifting. Women's categories were created for a reason, and if we lose that, we lose the foundation of our sport. Any message is simple. My message is simple. Trans people belong in sport, but women's divisions must remain biologically born female only. I love this sport. I have given my life to it, and I won't ignore something that could quietly change it forever. And I'm not even sure it's so quiet. But yeah, you got big, strong men coming in and stealing women's trophies.
It's not quiet anymore. I think at the beginning when Leah Thomas won that first race, and people started talking about it, and then it became a huge campaign issue, especially in the last presidential race where you had 79% of Americans that oppose biological males competing in women's sports. So I think the quiet part is no longer. I think people are not going to put up with this. I think that's why we're seeing this quick changes and these decisions being made. My recommendation to this organization is don't call it women's open category, because I think they took it way too literal. And they basically said it's open. No, it's not.
If your mind is too open, your brain can fall out.
Exactly.
And it can hit the ground. Pretty amazing stuff. And that Leah Thompson person was William.
Yes,
and,
a year before.
Right.
Year before.
Right.
Yeah.
This is about the death of shame, to be quite honest. It's about men who can't win in their own sport, so they go ahead and beat the girls. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you look at the strength category in shot put in the Olympics, men and women's have the same distance, but the women's shot put is half as much weight.
Yeah. No, it's I got to tell you, this has never been a winning issue for the Democrats. It's not a winning issue for the transgenders. It's like, look, boys, stay out of the locker rooms, stay out of the sports. Just,
It worked for East
Germany. I agree.
It worked for East Germany in the Olympics during the Cold War.
Right. But hopefully the Olympics, I think, are going to keep it so that the women are the ones that compete with women. What a concept.